Hi, everybody. Welcome to this week's Weekly Roundup. I have a long list, like normal, but I'm excited to share the town square has power. It has been months in the making. We knew from the outset that we'd be waiting for one electrical component at the square right until December, near the end of the year. And I haven't seen it yet, but I will make sure I drive by tonight. I've heard the lighting at night looks awesome. So I'm super excited we've hit that final milestone. We have a couple of just small things still to do, but that's really the last big item. So May 20th is the date we will be having the official grand opening of the town square. Obviously, we could open the square, but then we don't have the programming ready yet because we're still hiring that programming coordinator. We have the snow clearing, fencing. There's just a variety of reasons. A couple of small items yet to complete. So May 20th, when the square is green and vibrant with plantings and color, will be the day. So mark it down. Not as exciting, the Main Street Bridge. So I feel like last week I maybe talked about it. Honestly, every day with the bridge is another turn and twist. Where we're at right now is we have imposed weight limits on the Main Street Bridge. The main street is a connecting highway. A connecting highway means the DOT has control over the cadence of repair and kind of the implementation on that roadway. The DOT is also the coordinator on the Main Street Bridge project. We have been working ad nauseum really to get that bridge moved up. I know our senator has been working. I know I've talked to the governor about it. We have a meeting coming up in the next couple of weeks, really, in my opinion, as the last kind of check-in to say, this bridge needs to be redone in 2024. How can we make that happen? It was in 26. We got it moved up to 25 with what they call advanceable potential, meaning if the money is there and the design is done, we could do it in 24, and that is really what we have to push for. So right now, we obviously have the plate over the bridge. That was because we saw some cracking in the decking, and then we also have this weight limit imposed. So we'll continue to monitor the bridge and pray that we don't find ourselves in a position where we are lowering that weight limit even further. So I'll keep you guys updated as that changes. You've probably been seeing and hearing a lot of discussion around local government finance reform. You've heard me talk about it in a variety of ways. This is just a fancy way of saying how local units of government like ourselves, cities, villages, towns, counties, how we're funded through the state. And for us here in the city of Watertown, two primary ways, which you've seen and heard: property taxes and state shared revenue, state aids. Those state aids have been decreasing over time. We're going to start, and we have started kind of posting some information on that so you all have kind of tangible examples of how that affects us in the way that we administer our city dollars. We heard it in the state of the state, but what I really want to shed some light on is there's been a ton of work happening through the legislature. There's been a coalition of legislators and people that are interested in this topic working on ideas and working collaboratively across the aisle, working with the governor's office. And it's just been a good amount of momentum. And so fingers crossed we get somewhere in this biennium where we have less reliance on property taxes, which will benefit you in a more stable and growing state revenue formula. Also, another big topic, we had a massive child care announcement this week together with the Health Foundation, the YMCA, and Maranatha Baptist University. We announced the plan for employer-sponsored child care and a methodology around child care that really changes the game and doesn't just try to keep doing the same thing and end up with the same results. So if you're interested in learning more about what that effort is, please reach out to us. We'll get you information. We're reaching out to our business community right now, asking them to be a part of that with us. The goal here is to create more child care and more continuity of care with our child care teachers so that they can have a living wage and good benefits. We have that continuity and care for children and accessibility, which leads obviously to workforce availability. So super excited about that one. If you're interested, reach out and we'll give you more info. We also have had 3 big meetings this week about housing and different development, which is also equally as exciting. We are looking in 3 different areas of the community, each with a different project, with different densities, different uses, whether it's commercial and residential or just residential. This week at Site Plan and Plan Commission, we saw the design and approval through that commission for the Griffin Armament project, which was a collaborative project with the city. So we're super excited to see that one move forward. And then also, I think at the first Plan Commission meeting in February, we'll be hearing a proposal from Belinsky for another phase of housing development as well. So I love sharing these with you all because while I don't read the comments, I know there are likely people commenting that nothing's happening in our community, and this is living proof to the opposite. And it takes a village of people to get to this point, and I think it's really important for me as a leader of this community to shed light on all the positive, incredible developments, both in physical infrastructure and in some of our kind of social issues as well around workforce and childcare and local finance reform on the fiscal side that are happening, and it's exciting. So thank you to everyone who's been a part of those projects, and I hope I can share even more soon. If you want to be a part of this change and want to be a part of, or even just be more informed about what's happening, we always have our weekly meeting agendas and packets on our city website, super easy to find. But we're also going to be trying to post weekly what the meetings are on our social media and try to tease out some topics that are really important or kind of interest. So trying to make it as transparent and easy as possible for people to be involved, because involved constituencies make a difference. One thing that has been getting questions and attention is Riverfest. And this week at our Finance Committee, we passed an ordinance or resolution to allow the city to essentially give Riverfest to this nonprofit that was created, Watertown Riverfest. And the next stop for that will be the Common Council meeting on February 7th. So if you're interested in knowing more about that group or you want to be involved, reach out to us. We can connect you to that nonprofit or attend either virtually or in person the Common Council meeting on February 7th. Elections. We have elections coming up for Justice of the Supreme Court and Districts 1 and 9 for primaries. So we have election coming up soon in February. So a couple of dates for you. February 1st is the last day to register online at myvote.wisconsin.gov or by mail. And after that, you will need to register in the clerk's office. February 7th to 17th is in-person absentee voting. You must have your photo ID. There will be no registration or absentee voting, as always, the Monday before the election. And then all of our districts will be using Badger Books. So we piloted that during the November election, and now we'll be using Badger Books, the book you sign in on, at all of our polling locations. Again, there is no voting that happens on the Badger Book. It literally is replacing that binder where you sign in on paper to a Badger Book is where you'll now sign in. So again, election, I think it's February 22nd. I hope I'm not getting that date wrong. It's the Tuesday in February. And it will be, again, the Justices of the Supreme Court primary and then City Aldermanic Districts 1 and 9. On the recreation front, there is a ton. It was almost hard to tease out what to even share with you today. So the easiest thing is go to the Park and Rec page. You're going to find soccer, ballet, tap, archery, Zumba, pound, cardio kickboxing, youth baseball and softball. I mean, the list goes on. So please check that out. They're also doing a community blood drive on February 6th. So you can register right through a link right on our Park and Rec Facebook page. And then I want to draw attention, especially with the weather this week, to our Winter Wellness Loop. So we created the Winter Wellness Loop as a means for people to still get outside during these winter months here in Wisconsin. It is located in Riverside Park, and it is a cleaned to the surface as best we can winter walking route. So it's just under a mile, so you should be able to kind of have a good cadence of following that path. There are signs. So go ahead and hit up Riverside Park this weekend for some time to be outside. On the library front, I talked about a bookmark coloring contest. The voting for that is now open. We'll also next week be starting the celebration of Black History Month, and they are doing The Great Debaters as a movie matinee on the 2nd at 2 p.m. And then family yoga is starting on Saturdays. Again, just another activity during the winter. And I know the always popular Reading with Rover is next week, Thursday as well. We have a lot going on this weekend. In particular, the downtown open house is on Saturday from 10 to 2. There are kind of behind-the-scene tours, treats, sales, you name it. I think there's over 30 businesses and locations participating. So go to Watertown Main Street for information on that. I know the bridal fair is on Sunday, which is always a popular one. And then the Chamber of Commerce is running a support local scavenger hunt. So go to their page for more information. It starts tomorrow. So you can probably achieve two things at once by going to the open house and doing the scavenger hunt. And if none of those are attractive to you, it is going to be a good weekend to get outside, although a little snowy, and enjoy winter here in Wisconsin. There's a new book at the Storybook Trail. And obviously I just talked about the Winter Wellness Loop. So whatever you choose, I hope you enjoy our community this weekend. Have a good weekend. We'll see you back next week.